everyone, so welcome to the workshop. So today we're going to be decorating some terracotta pots. So today we are going to have a lot of different options you guys can do. Definitely a time to be creative. If you're not creative, I want you to know right now that that is a complete lie. You are completely creative, I promise, and today you are going to get to have some fun with that. So before you start, obviously you are going to start with a completely blank terracotta pot. So the biggest thing when it comes to something like this is just maybe doing a little bit of planning. I'm completely for just winging it. Sometimes the best things I do are winging it, but I would suggest maybe just a little bit of pre-planning before you actually start painting. So you're going to have a variety of different things that you can use. You're going to have all sorts of stencils that you're going to use, different flowers, different designs. Those are all going to be available to you. And I'm going to show you how to use those here in a few minutes. You're also going to have some buttons in your workshop. You can use some twine, whole bunch of different things that you're going to be able to use today. So the first thing I would do is just maybe do a quick run through of what you're going to want to do. There's also a bunch of different paint colors you can use, so you'll need to pick those out as well. So some ideas, I just ran through quick and did this one. This is by no means like a super awesome design, but I just wanted you guys to kind of see how the patterns work. So these are the Mickeys. I love Disney. I am a Disney freak, so I've always got to incorporate that. So these are like the Mickeys. You could do on the sides. You could do a pattern just on the rim of your pot. You know, you could do it in just various spots and, you know, just keep the squares and do a pattern that way. If you want to get super technical, you can try to go around your whole pot and connect those patterns. That's going to be a little bit trickier. So if you're ready for that, then go for it. But just if you're maybe not feeling the most confident, I would probably try to pick something else than trying to connect patterns. It just gets a little tricky. Not impossible. You can go ahead and paint your whole pot and then go over it with a stencil. That's fine. You can paint just the bottom. So many different things you can do, guys. If you don't even want a stencil, you just want to have like one color on the bottom and one color on the top and like you're done, that's fine. This is completely up to you. You get to have fun with this. So that was just kind of like my demo pot. And then this is the one I'm actually going to show you guys what we're doing here. This one I thought about a little bit more than the demo pot, but I went ahead, I painted just the top rim of my pot, just this dark navy blue. I really love that color. I also painted down into my pot so that when I put soil in it, obviously it's not going to come to the very tippy top, so just make sure you paint inside too. And then I decided I was going to do use the stencil of this flower, and I was going to put that on there with this like just not quite gold, not quite yellow, kind of in the middle. The paint calls it King's Gold, so just with this gold paint, and just do that very basic, nothing crazy. So I'm going to go ahead now and just show you guys how to stencil. This is going to be the same thing for any of the stencils that you use. If you are careful with these stencils, they should be able to be multi-used. I would just wait in between using them until the paint dries on them, just so you're not smudging your other paint, especially if you're using a different color. Let these dry in between applications. This one here, if you're using this pattern, this one, just because it's so intricate, this one may not last a ton of uses, but you should have enough in your kit to use them. But actually, as you use these more and more and they get layers of paint on them, they actually become more sturdy and durable. So that's kind of a cool little thing. But I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to use this flower. There's going to be different sizes in your kit if you want to do overlapping. I don't care. Whatever you want, guys. So I always start by just sizing it first, getting an idea of where I want it. Once you know what's up, you can grab, there's some painter's tape. You're going to want to tape the edges, just to kind of keep that stencil in place. Now this one kind of forms to the pot pretty nicely. Kind of see it's on there. So now when you go to stencil, you are going to stencil and paint inside these little areas. And that's gonna be where your stencil is. So when you start, you'll get your paint ready. You're using foam brushes today. Foam brush. When you go to stencil, always, you never want to go back and forth. This is not the time to get crazy painting. You're simply going to dab. You always dab. And the least amount of paint that you can use, the better, the less likely that you're gonna end up pushing paint underneath that stencil. Because as long as you're dabbing straight downwards and you're not moving it back around, even if that stencil isn't completely like super tight to that pot, as long as you're just dabbing up and down, you really should be able to stay within your stencil. Like that shouldn't be a problem. One of the big ones that can be kind of crazy is this one. Some of those little designs are going to stick up, but as long as you're stenciling and you're using your foam brush and you're going straight down with your paint, that shouldn't be an issue. So you just go around stenciling your flower. Another thing too, if you want to do, and I might actually just do it here because it just came to mind, you can use 2 colors in your stencil. So if you want to do like a shadowing, some of you are probably going to be way more artistic and creative than me even. So if it comes to mind, go for it. And I'm sorry if you can hear a lawnmower. I literally started this video and then my neighbor, who is a meticulous lawn owner, decided that this was the morning that he was going to mow his grass or whatever he's doing, mulching, because there's no grass. It's like 30 degrees outside. I actually don't know what he's doing, but I apologize if you hear that lawnmower. Never fails. Once I start a video, either my husband shows up or my dogs bark or the mailman comes or something crazy happens. But that's real life, right? All right, so just keep dabbing up and down. It can be tedious, so that's why when I see people do stenciling on their like floors, I've seen people stencil like patterns in their bathroom floors. I honestly can't imagine stenciling. Or I know back in the day it was super popular to do it on walls. Yep, couldn't do that either. So if you've stenciled a wall, you are an amazing human. I do not have the patience for that. Okay, so once you kind of got everything covered, you can keep going. If it's not dark enough, if you want it really dark, I like this look where it's not quite super solid. You can kind of see some of the shadows behind it from the pot. I like that look. If that's not what you want, then just keep going with the paint. What I was gonna do though was I was just going to get some of this blue up in here too. I'm not gonna go everywhere because I don't want to cover the gold, but okay. So then when you're ready, you don't need to let it dry. It's actually preferable if you don't wait till it dry to take your stencil off. Peel off one side, and just the importance of this when you go to take your stencil off is you just want to lift straight up and then pull it off. So there you go, guys. Look how easy that is. And like I said, the stencils are multi-use. I would just wait though, wait until this dries off. It should dry pretty quick before you move on to the next one, just in case there's some paint on the back or whatever. You don't want to mess up your canvas. So isn't that pretty? So the next thing I'm going to do, actually, I turned on my hot glue gun here, but it turned off, of course. Oh, I don't even know if it's going to be turning on. This will be an infomercial for cordless glue guns, guys. They are super convenient, but always not practical because it dies on me a lot. Oh yeah, that's straight dead, guys. All right, so you're not gonna get to see this. I will show you what I was going to do. So what I'm gonna do, you're gonna have some buttons in your kit. I'm actually gonna take these buttons. I'm going to put them on there like this. Secure it. You guys see that? Yep. I think that will be super cute. I have some twine here. You'll have some of that too. I'm gonna wrap around the top and glue. So just gonna do some fun things like that. Nothing crazy. I don't know if I'm gonna do anything to the sides. I actually just may leave the sides because I just want it simple. And then finally, the last step I'm gonna show you guys. I might actually just show you on this side that's dry. In your kit, you are gonna have some Mod Podge. This is gonna be for when you are done. Like you are not painting anymore, you are not just done. Okay, guys? So what this is this is a sealer. As many of us know that use terracotta. Terracotta takes in the water and it can hold it. And what that does, unfortunately, is that, especially if you've painted a large area, it can get stuck and then it can actually make your paint bubble when you water your plant. So we don't want that, right? So we always go and we just seal it. It's important to seal the outside. It's also important that you seal the inside as well. And then you also want to make sure before you start this process that your paint's dry, because if you go and paint over something that's not quite dry yet, you're just going to smear your paint, and that's not fun. I've done it. I have all of these warnings to tell you guys because I've done it and messed it up. So yeah, you'll just go around, you'll paint everything on your pot. This does dry clear, so don't freak out. Obviously you don't want like huge globs, so try to even it out, but it will dry clear. And then like I said, you're gonna wanna go ahead and do the inside of your pot too, because obviously that's where the water is gonna be, that it will be seeping into the walls, and we don't want that because we don't want your beautiful work to bubble. It's not the end of the world if it does, but just to prevent that, we will go ahead and seal your entire pot. And then once you get your pot completely sealed, I would honestly just let it sit for a little bit. I mean, if you want to put soil and stuff in it, you can, but I would just wait to water it at least a day just to let your paint and everything just set and be super dry before you start putting things in there. So there you go, guys. It's not that tough. There's just a lot of creativity, and I hope you guys have fun with this. You know, if I did not show you something that you want to do, there is absolutely going to be no insult my way. If you're like, what is this lady talking about? I do not want to do that. I'm going to do something different. Go for it. I mean, you have the Mod Podge. If you like want to take one of the stencils and you're like super crafty and you like want to Mod Podge the paper actually onto your pot, that's something you can do with Mod Podge if you know what you're doing. So I am never offended if you go above and beyond, or you just do something that I did not think of. So there you go. Make sure that you guys take some pictures of your finished projects. I would love to see everyone's creativity and everyone's pots, especially everyone's beautiful pots that are growing beautiful flowers in them. So make sure that you take some pictures and you get them posted on my Facebook.